Kat and Iniba, and thank you so much for tuning in to Halo Halo, your top entertainment and lifestyle show for Asian Pacific Americans, and where we like to feature our very own APA talent. Today, meet singer, songwriter, music composer, Andrew, aka Peter Rubix. Welcome, Andrew.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, in my intro, I introduced you as Andrew, aka Peter Rubix.
Yes.
Tell me the name change.
The name change.
Yeah.
So when I was thinking about an artist alias, I thought most pop aliases have 4 syllables, 2 in front, 2 in back, and the last name. And at the time, I was thinking my music describes certain colors. And so Rubix kind of came about with the Rubik's Cube, and I spelled it with an X. And then I needed a 2-syllable first name.
Right.
And so Tchaikovsky is my favorite classical composer. And so his first name is Peter. And so I was like, Peter Rubix, actually that has a nice tone to it.
Yeah, it does. It flows, right?
It flows. I mean, it's not Peter Rabbit, but...
Now, you mentioned your music as colorful.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit more description of your music.
So I really like the intersection between EDM and pop music. So as an instrumentalist, I like sounds or songs that have a lot of instrumentals to it, a large instrumental production. And so EDM has always been kind of a passion of mine and interest. And I've always loved pop music, and so the fact that some of the EDM songs feature pop vocals, I thought maybe should develop in that genre.
Who are some of your favorite EDM artists?
I really like Zed, Martin Garrix. I like Deadmauss, Diplo. It's really good to me. Yeah.
But you mentioned big orchestra music, right? You play in orchestras. Tell me a little bit more about how you got started.
Okay, so I started off playing piano when I was about 5, 6. Classical music has always been, a very strong interest of mine ever since I was a young kid.
Hence the Tchaikovsky reference, right?
So I started playing bass when I was in 6th grade and kept playing. I studied stand-up bass, contrabass in college. And ever since then I've been playing in local orchestras around LA. So that's kind of been my classical outlet in terms of my own creative outlet's been the songwriting and singing for the past couple of years.
Yeah, so you kind of infuse both the classical music with the EDM, funky type music.
Yeah, Zed is actually really good about that. Like he incorporates a lot of classical chord progressions and really interesting stuff in his orchestrations. Yeah,
you mentioned performing in orchestras. I know you were part of the KYCC benefit concert.
I was.
How was that experience, and how did you become a part of it?
Well, I'm really lucky that I built a pretty strong relationship with the orchestra manager. He went to USC as well, and so or orchestra contractor rather. And so I've been playing with them for the past couple of years.
And now I know that you write your own music, but you also score music. I heard that you scored a film about a ballerina.
Yeah, so one of my friends, Chelsea, she asked me to join a project where I scored one of her short films. She's a filmmaker that specializes in ballet and dance projects. And so she asked if I can come up with an instrumental to accompany her piece.
I love it, by the way. There's like a loop of it. I'm not going to say where, but there's a loop of the song, and it's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Is it different from composing music with lyrics versus just instrumentals?
It's just instrumental. It's a little different because the melodies are obviously saturated in the instrumental, but they can be just as expressive. I mean, I choose lyrics and I sing along to most of my pieces because I feel like the words help connect the listener to my song. But it can be accomplished as well with instrumental music. So the process is the same, it's just without the extra vocal layer.
I just feel like it would be more difficult because you're trying to express both emotion and what you're trying to say in just music.
In just music. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a decision when the project is kind of complete, whether it needs that extra layer or not, or whether it could just stand alone by itself. And so this piece that I was asked to write with my friend, who's also a really good cellist, it just kind of came about, no vocal track needed, and you know, the piano and the cello part was all it needed.
I love it. Now
Thank
tell
you.
me about the 2 songs you're going to perform today.
So the first song is a love song, and it's called "Do You Feel This Way Too?" It's about you know, me and not knowing if on the other end if they feels the same way too, quite frankly. And so that angst, I always like tend to write really good love songs when I'm uncertain of what the other person's feeling on the other end. So this is kind of a more recent piece that I wrote.
Right. What about the second song?
The second song is called Breathe. I tend to have a lot of anxiety, so as everybody does, forget to just breathe and take some time to ourselves. It's very like psychedelic. It's a song. It kind of came out, I've never written a piece like that before, and I just kind of went with it. And so far, I think it's one of my stronger songs. You know, you never know what's going to come out of you. You just kind of have to go with
the flow.
Go with the flow, and wherever it takes you, it takes you.
Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break and then have you perform after the break. But for more info on you and all of your music, I know you have a SoundCloud, you have a Facebook. Where do we go? So
you can go soundcloud.com/Peter Rubix with an X at the end. And then for my Facebook as well, it's Peter Rubix with an X. Okay, thank you so much, Andrew. A pleasure having you here today. Thank you for having me. Again, for more information on Andrew, aka Peter Rubix, make sure to check out his Facebook and SoundCloud. All the information is on your screen. Don't go anywhere because Peter Rubix performs all after the break.